These mutilations are being done for a reason. Through this investigation, we found out, and it took me 2 years for us to understand it, take it all in. And what you're going to be hearing in the next couple hours, it's going to hit you hard, man. It's going to be like, but we had to learn this all in 2 years, so it's a little different. But nevertheless, I'm just trying to be as transparent as I can, bring the law enforcement aspect into this and investigate it in a way no one else has done before, just to see what we get. Well, we got. I think my whole life has set me up for this exact thing. 1991 or 1992 is kind of when everything changed for me. It's when I received a videotape in the mail that came with no return address. And so I popped this thing in my VCR, and it just happens to be this guy with glasses talking in front of a whiteboard. And he's describing how he used to be part of a back engineering team out at a base called S4 by Groom Lake, which is off of Area 51, he said. You got to fly into Area 51 and get bused to this remote hidden base that he's investigating. And he said that he has investigated downed spacecraft and recovered spacecraft from other planets. And he described how they're able to travel great distances. And I believed every word that guy said. His name was Bob Lazar.
Say something to me. Please talk to me.
What we've uncovered on this investigation is fucking gargantuous.
Wow.
And everything I say is all on video, man. Everything.
No, I've heard them a lot around this place.
Well,
I used to live in that old house there, and boy, they were all over in that thing.
what really?
Oh yeah, I'd wake up and see shadows standing over me.
And what house was this?
That was the old white one there.
My name is Greg Feynman. I'm with UOR Investigations Paranormal. I was a paramedic for nearly 30 years of my life. I was a deputy coroner for about 14 years of my life. I was a cop for about 13 years of my life. And everything required some sort of report writing. That's what allows me to do this the right way, that I feel the right way. I worked with the Los Animas County Sheriff's Department between the years of 99 and 03. And during that time frame, I was dispatched on several, they call them cattle mutilations. These cows are completely cut up. That's why they call them mutilated. And there's not one drop of blood anywhere around this cow. Organs are missing. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. A lot of times they're reproductive organs. But how they're taken is they're taken with precision. These appear to be laser-induced incisions. Looking at this cow, it was killed somewhere else because its own tracks weren't there. All right, it means it was placed there. And there is no evidence anywhere of anything that could possibly lift a cow and put it in that location without leaving some sort of tracks. Even a helicopter would leave wash marks. But that being said, our job wasn't to figure it out. Our job was to take photos, to do a report, no follow-up report, no investigation, no nothing, but owner information, take photos, and that's it. That's what we did on the ones that we handled. And I didn't get to investigate it the way I wanted to, and I had unanswered questions. And it stayed with me for a long time. And I thought, man, if I ever get a chance, man, I'd like to look into it myself and give it the investigation that it deserves. That's what prepared me for exactly what I'm doing right now. My whole life has actually led up to this very point. In 2008, I woke up overnight with rheumatoid arthritis, and 3 months from my diagnosis, I had to retire disabled with through my pension, and that was it for law enforcement for me in 2008. 2010 to 2016, I left Colorado, but when I came back in 2016, and immediately when I got here, I started waking up at 4 in the morning. I don't wake up at 4 in the morning if my house is on fire most of the time. And I'm all of a sudden waking up at 4 in the morning. And I start working on wanting to investigate these cattle mutilations. I had called around different cattle ranches um, asking if I can investigate their ranch. And all of them said, oh, you need to talk to so-and-so. So I called that rancher and left a message, and he called me back the next morning at about 7 in the morning. Tom Miller, I've been in contact with, I've known for about 3 months now, and boy, he's got an interesting story. I wanted to investigate his ranch, and I wanted to do it in a way that had never been done before. And he admitted to having 16 mutilations.
But the first one that I really noticed was we had the cattle out here in this patch here. And we seen one laying down. And we went out there and it was dead. And I looked at it more. And that thing had, the eyes were gone. The tongue was gone. It had a hole in the rear end. And one ear was gone. And I just didn't know what happened, but it wasn't normal. That was in 1996.
I wanted to get photos of each cow and get an age of each cow, and which I did. I got an age, how old they are, what type of cow they are, all that. And while I was out there doing that, the rancher just kind of says, "Oh, by the way, Chuck Zukowski has been out investigating these before."
And so I got in touch with him, and he would, every time I would have one, he would come out and investigate it, because I didn't want to say, oh, that was mutilated, and it wasn't. So he would confirm that it was mutilated or whatever. And since that time, I think I lost 16 head on that that were mutilated, that were actually mutilated.